And counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. Control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Yeah, big up the knowledge. Put it down, kid. Intergalactic homes. Chill. Chill. We know the one, baby. Yeah. Chill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, teenage mutant angelic Dr. Sewers of illusion, master splinter with musicians. Light rider, staple system, royal crest, hieroglyphics, souls of mischief, volunteering for many missions. Cause we gifted, ain't no better service, multicolored, never slipping, flag shipping through dimensions, sugar dues for them star nations. Yeah, plant seeds through the stars and get it poppin'. Yo, converse with the squire, dirt, wind and fire, camp by the water. Kid Christ up the stream with the salmon. It's a moment of what's coming like in 93 playing double dribble and still be alive. The C2K5, this quantum leap in evolution. On the intercom talking about, yo, we just cool in Houston. Reminiscing of the times when we was short of funding. In the dressing room boosting, came back comic. Forever growing eternal in the present moment. Wheel of fortune in the sun card for the magician. Within the rhythms, divine fam be my inspiration. It's like the day I was born, they knew I'd make it. If I foul, it was never flagrant. If I bleed, it's for the council. Up the mountain, yo. Yeah. Yo, feline. On the rhyme. Boom. Chill. Hey. What about saying? Hawk. Feline on the rhyme. Chill.
Just leave it all up to me.
You dig?
Just love Prince.
Yeah. Blessed be beautiful dudes and white ships in heaven. We cruise out, keeping it cool. Yeah. Yo. Blessed be beautiful dudes and white ships in heaven. We cruise. Man, keeping it cool. Head on the ground, back to the stars. Yeah. The silkiest ad libs, buttery bad lips, it's chocolatey magic. Let's work on a Sabbath and sleep through a Monday. Cuddle under moons and hold hands as we sun gaze. Or we can play hide and go seek. Look, you count to 10, but don't peek. My snickles and giggles are kinda grimy. It tickles me how hard she trying to find me. Look in the mirror, it gets no clearer, lady. Say your heart is where you find me, baby. When you just need the Lord, they gon' call you crazy. Give me a kiss, boo, it's all gravy. Let's get some ice cream and talk dreams. Hold hands in the park, love, and let it rain. You know they throwing no kind of shade when we do a thing. I feel sick when I kiss you, queen, yo, it's not a game. Come on. Beautiful connections, blessed, so real. Holographic fragrance, smell the daffodils. Seal the deal on the tall tales they sell. Time travel sailboat captain, love L. Transform on a Miss Steven Urkel. Laurel on my laurel, mysterious is a yo barrel go. No, that is G.O.D. for show though. Hold on. Yo, blessedly beautiful dudes in my ships in heaven, we cruise out, keeping it cool. Yeah, is that cool? You know what time it is, baby, Blessedly beautiful dudes in my ships in heaven, we cruise out, keeping it cool.
You have placed yourselves in a position that you wanted to be at this time. You knew before you incarnated that after December 21st, 2012, you would have a window of opportunity in front of you to make decisions as a collective that would either guide you to the fifth dimension or to the destruction of your planet. The progress that we can see from where we sit is that all of you have been struggling or gaining some momentum in your response to what your lives have thrown at you. You have identifiable traction that we can see and feel. It is the energetic support that you have been calling upon and have begun receiving. You are able to stand a bit taller, hold your vibration a bit longer, and you are turning the traumas, tragedies, and frustration of your lives into the fodder that you will use to create the new earth of the fifth dimension. Those of you who have felt alone for quite some time are beginning to find each other, and you are sharing your stories. More and more of you are realizing that you are not alone, that there is a power in your numbers, and it's not just the asking that you've been doing that is paying off. But because you are connecting and recognizing yourself as a collective, you are benefiting from the asking of those other volunteers like yourself who have come to help. Now, some of you often feel like you're not doing enough, or you sense that there's a purpose for you being here on planet Earth. But you cannot determine exactly what that is, and that is because there are no actions necessary for you to take. Your presence here and your willingness to endure is your gift to the rest of humanity. It is your gift to the entire galaxy and the entire universe as you summon forth so much more of that higher frequency energy because of what you endured, because of the struggles that you faced. Everything now is pointing you towards the ascension of humanity. And it is up to you to feel for the support that you are getting, the connections that you are making, and to remember the bigger picture here of what you are accomplishing. This is a historic time for the planet and all her inhabitants. And you who are awakened are the ones who are leading the movement forward. You have the place in history that many other beings have sought. You are at the heart of something that is so gigantic, and yet most of the people on planet Earth are unaware that anything at all is happening. This is as it needs to be at this time. To make history, it is still necessary for most humans to remain asleep. The reason why it is necessary is because you need the intensity of the polarity that you are experiencing on planet Earth right now to fuel you. You need the desire for change to be great enough amongst the vast majority of you in order to make the shift. It is very appropriate that there is so much discontent among the masses. It is creating the ideal condition for the shift that you have been waiting for. Extreme polarities create a need for balance. If you were all content, awake, peaceful, harmonious beings, you would still be shifting and evolving. But you wouldn't do it as quickly as you are doing it now. The desire simply would not be there. Desire can be a wonderful tool. It can be such a powerful catalyst. Now, there is also the truth that more and more people are waking up every day, and the newly awakened have the propensity to feel empowered and to have the ability to sense that their desires will be fulfilled. Some of you who have been awake for quite some time have become jaded. Some have lost hope, but all are holding more light within them. And those of you who were awakened first on planet Earth are lighting the way for the newly awakened. And you are all capitalizing on the huge desire for change that is among the collective. You are ready to receive the next set of upgrades to your consciousness. You have a limited perception of reality due to restraints that you've placed upon your own consciousness as you incarnated into this physical experience. You wanted to have a particular experience of reality, and that necessitated that you have these restraints. We are working with beings throughout the galaxy to remove these restraints. We are particularly interested in what will happen when these restraints are removed. We will be observing you very carefully to see how you utilize the newfound abilities that you will uncover. Some of you are going to have more immediate experience than others. For others of you, it will take time for the ability to manifest themselves. You all have had different experiences in the past with these abilities that were so natural to you in other lifetimes. Some of you experienced great loss and trauma as a result of the use of one or more of your abilities. And for those of you that have had these experiences, it will take longer. You will have to move through the energy and emotion of those traumatic experiences. For those of you who've had more pleasant experiences, it will be an easier transition. Now, many of you have caught a glimpse of what it will be like to have the restraints removed because you have vibrated yourself into a frequency range that allowed you to have a sneak preview. And for those of you who've had those experiences, you would snap right back into your usual vibration, and the restraints would be back on after a brief experience. The process of uncovering these abilities and using them in a way that serves you and the rest of humanity is one that we'll need help with. Ask your guides for help. Ask whatever archangel or ascended masters or other beings you feel comfortable with for help, because it's going to be quite a ride. What this means is that you are ready to assist the extraterrestrials who have been working behind the scenes to ensure that everything goes smoothly with the shift in consciousness. They have been waiting for you, and now you are ready. You are ready to provide them with more of the essence of the human race. You are becoming more hybridized, but not in the traditional meaning of the word. As you access these channels and allow more energy to flow, you are becoming more of your source energy selves and mixing that essence with the essence of humanity to create a brand new race of humans. The extraterrestrials who have been helping you, and they are from all across the galaxy, are very impressed by this movement forward in humanity. They recognize your readiness, and they are eager to work with you. Many more of you are having dreams of meetings with extraterrestrial beings. This will continue. Even more will find themselves dreaming about being on ships and speaking to council and collectives, and all of it readies you for the experience in the waking state. More than anything else, you have readied yourself by releasing your own blockage to these very powerful channels and letting in so much more of Source. The human experience in planet Earth is changing, and it is changing for the better. You are the leaders of this movement because you have this knowing that you are Source energy beings, but without any of the hubris that sometimes accompanies that knowing. Releasing entity attachments. You've been taking the necessary steps forward in the evolutionary journey to bring you to a place of readiness for the systematic elimination of entities that have been draining your energy field. We have noticed that a large majority of humans have been releasing these entities from your fields, and most of you have been doing it without even realizing that they were there in the first place. The changes that occurred that has allowed this to happen is that more of you are choosing love over fear. You are choosing to process your fear, and then you are choosing love as your dominant operating state of being. These entities feed off of fear, and fear is the way that they find their human hosts. Now, once they have removed themselves from your fields, they must locate another place to go in order to continue to exist in a way that they have been. But in that process of searching, many of them are evolving themselves and going to the light, returning to their oversouls. The result is that there are less of these entities on planet Earth at this time than there have been in a very, very long time. You are, as a collective, doing the work that is necessary to shift to the fifth dimension. These beings cannot come with you, of course, and you cannot make the strides that you need to make if they are hanging on. So it is time to celebrate this moment in human history, and it is time to congratulate yourself for this accomplishment. And now that you are aware of what you have achieved, you can acknowledge that you have been choosing love over fear in your personal lives. And even though you live in a world filled with circumstances and events, and even people of fear, that game is losing its grip on all of you. You are ready for a less polarized experience of reality, and you are ushering in a time of greater peace and harmony on planet Earth. We are happy to report this to you. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.